The ballroom was radiant. The chandeliers glowed like captured stars, crystal glasses shimmered under golden light, and the Spanish royal anthem echoed softly in the distance. Every guest smiled, every camera flashed. It was supposed to be the perfect royal evening, a celebration of unity, tradition, and love. But then, Queen Letizia went silent. And that silence changed everything. At first, no one understood what had happened. One moment she was smiling beside King Felipe, composed and graceful as always. The next, her face froze, her eyes flickered, and she turned away ever so slightly. That single, wordless gesture rippled across the entire room. Conversations paused. Fans watching from home felt it instantly. Something had happened. Something only she understood. For a woman known for her calm strength and unshakable poise, Queen Letizia's silence spoke louder than any outburst could. Because in that silence, there was truth. There was history. And there was heartbreak. To understand why that moment left every royal guest speechless, you need to go back to the months leading up to that night. The event was a major royal gathering, one of the most anticipated in Europe. It wasn't just a dinner, it was a statement. Representatives from the Danish, British, and Norwegian royal families were present. Cameras followed every step of Princess Leonor, Spain's shining heir to the throne. For her, this night was meant to be a debut of maturity, a sign to the world that she was ready to stand on her own. But Queen Letizia, watching from the shadows of duty and motherhood, carried emotions that few could see. Pride, fear, and something deeper, the quiet ache of a mother who knows her daughter's heart is caught between love and destiny. Just weeks before the event, rumors had resurfaced, whispers that Prince Christian of Denmark had sent a private note to Leonor after her wedding announcement. The royal houses denied it. But inside the palace, the tension was undeniable. Letizia had always protected her daughter fiercely, guiding her through royal expectations, public scrutiny, and emotional storms. Now, watching Leonor under those lights, Letizia's gaze wasn't just regal, it was maternal, raw, filled with a kind of restrained pain. As the dinner progressed, everything appeared perfect. Guests laughed, toasts were made, cameras flashed, but then, an unexpected moment unfolded. A Danish delegate rose to speak. He offered kind words about unity between Spain and Denmark, a standard diplomatic courtesy. But as he spoke, he referenced the young royals who remind us that friendship between nations begins in the heart. The room chuckled politely. Leonor smiled. But Letizia did not. Her eyes lowered. Her lips pressed together. And she went completely still. To the untrained eye, it was nothing, a mother simply listening. But to those who knew her, that silence was loaded. Every royal correspondent, every guest, every camera caught it. It was the kind of silence that freezes the air. What was she thinking? Was it pride, regret, or something more painful, the memory of a truth buried under protocol? Because those who knew the Queen's heart understood this, Letizia was not just a monarch. She was a woman who had lived through the sacrifices of love. She had walked away from her own independence to embrace a life of duty. She had given up her career, her voice, and in some ways, her freedom, all for the crown. Watching her daughter stand in that same world, now bound by the same expectations, was a mirror she could barely face. And so she did what few royals ever dare to do. She stayed silent. That silence was her shield. But it was also her statement. Inside the royal tables, people noticed. King Felipe leaned slightly toward her, whispering something. Letizia didn't answer. Leonor looked over briefly, the kind of glance only a daughter gives her mother when she senses something isn't right. And in that moment, 1,000 emotions passed between them. No one else saw it, but everyone felt it. The moment stretched on, just a few seconds, but it felt eternal. After the speech, the applause erupted. Everyone rose to their feet. Everyone except Queen Letizia. She clapped softly, briefly, then folded her hands. Cameras zoomed in. Her expression, controlled, graceful, hid everything except her eyes. And in those eyes was something no crown could disguise: sorrow. That's when the entire room fell quiet again. A ripple of awareness spread. Because when a queen breaks from royal rhythm, even for a second, everyone notices. The other royals exchanged glances. Princess Mary of Denmark looked down. Even King Felipe appeared uneasy. It wasn't defiance. It wasn't anger. It was something purer, maternal heartbreak mixed with royal restraint. Later that evening, behind the golden curtains of the palace, Letizia was seen alone for several minutes. Staff members reported that she stood by the window overlooking the Madrid skyline, her reflection merging with the night lights. When Felipe joined her, she said only one thing: "She's ready, but I'm not." Those words, never meant to be heard outside the palace walls, eventually reached the press through whispers and speculation. And suddenly, her silence made perfect sense. Queen Letizia's reaction wasn't about politics or protocol. It was about letting go. Watching her daughter step fully into a destiny she could no longer protect her from. The world often sees Letizia as strong, elegant, unyielding. But that night revealed something else: her humanity. Because beneath the jewels and ceremony, she was just a mother watching her child face the same lonely path she once walked. In the days that followed, the clip of her reaction went viral. Millions replayed it. Commentators tried to decode it. Some called it sadness, others pride. But those who understood real emotion saw both. Leonor, aware of the noise, later appeared beside her mother at another event. The two exchanged soft smiles, no words, just understanding. It was a quiet reminder that love in the royal family isn't always shown through words or gestures. Sometimes, it's felt in what isn't said. That's what left the royal guest speechless. Not scandal, not surprise, but the authenticity of a woman who allowed herself to feel, even when the world was watching. In a world built on performance, Queen Letizia reminded everyone of something real: silence can be more powerful than any speech. It can carry love, fear, and pride all at once. Her silence told a story, of sacrifice, of love, and of the pain of watching time steal the innocence of a child turned queen. And that is why the royal ballroom, for one breathless moment, fell into stillness. Because everyone there knew they had just witnessed something rare. Not just a queen, not just a monarch, but a mother's heart breaking, quietly, gracefully, and without a single word.